Welcome to HSBN Media Days. Coach, can you please introduce yourself and the players you have today?
Sure. Joe Giamulli, Taravella Baseball. To my right, furthest is senior catcher Matt Rubin. Next to Matt and closest to me is senior left-handed pitcher Chris Cinta. To my left and closest to me is senior catcher Jordan Edway. And to my furthest left is senior third baseman Vincent Samuel.
Awesome. So tell me a little bit about your experience today with the Media Days, Coach, and then we'll go to the players.
Sure. I've been going to the Media Days since Anthony started them, and it's really a great opportunity for these guys to get together and show the rest of the county who participates in this what Taravella baseball is all about. It's also a great opportunity for them to showcase some of their skills, like the 60-yard dash, their exit velocity, and then it's also nice to have some schools watching you take IO. And I'm not sure if there was some scouts here today, but it also gives them the opportunity to showcase themselves in front of whatever college coaches or pro scouts may be in attendance.
Awesome. What about the players? How you been?
We'll start with you, Matt.
How's it been so far, the experience so far today?
Out on the field, your activities, what you like?
I think I like it because, it's cool to, go on a website and you get to see yourself there. And anyone can access it, so they see, like you just said, your 60s or your exit velocity and everything like that. So I think it's pretty cool.
What about for you today?
I think it's a good experience, seeing other teams, presenting ourselves to other teams. That's about it.
What's your favorite activity out here today?
Definitely the IO, because it just shows what we're all about and how much, energy we put up and what a fighting team we're going to be this year.
Media Day is always like a fun time to come out and see where you're at, like with exit velos, IOs. You can compare yourself to other teams on the website, so it's always good to know where you're at.
It gives you a chance to see some of your friends from other teams and get to talk to them as well. So very nice.
Like the third team in a row I've had in here. I was part of their painful season-ending loss last year. I was at Columbus that day, Joe, and it was a historic run for your program, first regional final in 22 years. So close. You played so well against Columbus that day. So hard. Just talk to me about, just trying to, what you said to your underclassmen after that game, and the groundwork that was laid for the future, and the future, I guess, is this year.
Sure. Well, I came in with this group as freshmen, and I personally set a goal for this being the year right now, and so this group exceeded my expectations with the run we went on last year. Very similar to my stop at Pompano. I came in there, and as the junior group went on to states, it was a year earlier than I expected. So with that in mind, they've had that taste now. They won a district championship. Okay, then they went to a regional final. So they have that taste, and we're one hit away from going to the promised land. So the encouraging thing is we've got 16 seniors this year. Some kids have come into the program. I think winning has had something to do with that. And so, we're really excited about what this season holds.
Yeah, this is your, like you said, 60. This is your window.
Yeah.
When you're senior laden like this is your window. Chris, talk to me about, and there's, you're committed to UM. Are you still committed to UM?
Yes, sir.
And coaches, the big games on the hand, coach is going to hand you the ball. Talk to me about, maybe the pressure on this team this year. Like, hey, this is it. If it's going to happen, it's got to happen now. Talk to me about, that pressure and dealing with that.
Well, obviously there's always pressure, but the team has really come together this year. Like, the bond is different. We have energy in practice. We haven't had that the past few years. But this year, I feel something coming,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Matt, talk to me about that, about the, as other players discuss that, there's something about a real difficult loss that can bring players closer together. Is that what happened last year at Columbus and into this year?
I think it was because last year, I think it was 3 seniors starting and the rest were underclassmen, or 4. We had a small amount of seniors and a lot of underclassmen that were there that actually played in that game. And like Coach always says, the promised land and how we were one game away from going to states. And I mean, we were all watching the videos and everything from being there, and it looked like an amazing time. So, I mean, one game away. So let's try to get it this year.
Vincent, talk to me about, because this is tough sometimes, because you're trying not to think about big picture. You're just trying to think about, hey, we got an opener in a couple of weeks. It's one step at a time, okay? And you can't just jump right into the regional final where you were a year ago. Talk to me about, does Coach preach that about, hey, this happens in steps. You got to build towards that. Talk to me about that.
Yes, Coach always preaches one game at a time, even one inning at a time for like certain circumstances with the pitchers. We just gotta all come together and play our game because we know that we can play and we can compete at a high level. We just need to just come together and keep pushing and get farther than we did last year.
How about that, Jordan? About like I said, I hate to harp on this, but collectively, there's got to be a lot of pressure because you guys, as tight as you are, you're all seniors, a truckload of seniors on this team, and it's like, if it's going to happen, it's got to happen now. Talk to me about how you committed this season with that mindset.
So, like, we've all been here since day one, freshman year, when we all started. And definitely this year, we have definitely the best bond we have ever had. And the lock finally clicked, and we're all working together at the end in practice and in the games. And then we have our lineups are going to be probably the best lineup we've had in the last 4 years, with all the pieces to the puzzle that we've been waiting on, and that we finally have, probably the best lineup to make it all the way, hopefully.
Joe, put a ribbon on this thing. Wrap it up. Tell me about how you're approaching this season with these kids, and as a coach, I would imagine you don't want to put too much pressure. I'm the one talking about pressure, but you just want to let them go out there, just try and play
Sure.
and relax a little bit.
Sure.
Have fun.
Take a look at our schedule. It's unforgiving. I'd put the schedule up against any team in the country's schedule. Okay, there's a reason for that. We're talented, and I want these guys to be tested for not only this year but for their future. So to me, that says it all. Is just taking a look at that schedule. We could very easily be a 500 team. I mean, it is that grinding of a schedule.
You'd be a great team and still be 500.
Correct. And like some of these guys have said, I mean, to me personally, this is my most talented team I've had, no matter where I've been, top to bottom.
Saying a lot.
So I'm really excited. They're right. The energy has been fantastic at practice. Practices have been, much smoother, and it's easier now. They're seniors. A lot of the things that we were talking about or teaching in prior years, they know these things now. It's somewhat of a well-oiled machine.
And they know you, they know their coach.
Right. So, just like anything else, look, I got to coach well. My coaching staff has to coach well. We got to stay healthy, and they got to play well. And then things will fall into place. If we do what we're supposed to do, we'll have opportunities to win every single game that we play this year.
For the seniors, are there some teams that you're especially looking forward to seeing on the field?
So they redid our districts again,
Right.
and we do have Douglas back in our district. So I mean, it's always been there. The rivalry's always been there, so it should be fun.
Yeah. Get there early for that game if you want to see.
Everybody knows you have to be there. You have to be there for there.
You guys, anything that you're looking forward
It
to?
would really just be Douglas. We've known a lot of those kids on that team since like Little League, and they always had our number. So I'm trying to change that this year.
What's the date on that? I bet they know the date on that game.
February 22nd, first game.
First
Well,
game.
we do open up with them in the regular season on the 22nd, and there is the potential of facing them in districts and perhaps further along in regional. So we might not just see them one time, potentially 3 times.
All right, well, thank you for being here today, and good luck to you this season.
As always, thank you, HSBN.